Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, bien.
Um,
¿Y usted?
oh my God, did you? I failed Spanish class. As sad as that
I did
is.
not. I
Um,
aced my regions and everything.
oh man, the Regents was whatever. It's like New York stuff. Regents. Um, yeah. Thank you guys for dropping by. It's Mad King here with Felice Cat.
Hey,
Hey,
Feliz
we're
cat in the
here
building.
with our yes in the building. We're starting our weekly podcast. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Excited. I've been busy this week with tons of things, game related,
Yes.
birthdays, everything. How about you?
Yeah.
How was your week so far?
Well, exciting news on that front. Prime Day just passed by, so I like looked at all the websites and I finally purchased a gaming laptop. So
Woo woo.
gonna be on par with the rest of the team for once. Um, so that's really exciting. So that honestly, it makes anything in my week even better, just because you know how long it's been a struggle, and our followers have been helping us to get to that point, so that I can finally get that. So honestly,
Yeah,
my week was perfect because of that.
I know you was on like a high for like a couple
I
of
still
days.
am.
You kept just saying like, "Yo, I'm so
I
happy.
was
I'm
like,
so
I love
happy."
you guys. Like that drunk person at the drunk happy person.
Yeah. So it was dope to see that. But talk about your laptop. You have like a really good laptop. Like top of the line graphics card, top of the line everything. So it's
40
pretty dope.
gigabytes of RAM is for me is rare on a
That's like
laptop.
that's like ridiculous, more than you need. But
Yes, way
hey,
more
it
than I
can't
need.
hurt to have more.
Yeah.
And like I'm not gonna talk about price, but I saw the price, and that's actually that was like kind of a steer
Yeah,
with everything you got.
I think it was that cheap because it didn't have well, it was on Newegg too. You know that, right? So Newegg is always synonymous with having like cheaper stuff, but
Yeah,
Crazy made me do all this damn research. Now I have all these numbers and figures in my head that now it's like I speak computer even better. Which is perfect because if we're gonna be doing the streaming thing, that's important to
you
know.
need to. Yeah, it's good to know
Yeah.
those little
But
terms.
yeah, the PC was probably the laptop was probably the as cheap as it was because it doesn't have a built-in camera, which I don't really need because I have like mad cameras. I don't really need a built-in
Oh
camera.
yeah, like I don't even use my built-in webcam
Yeah, because
camera, so
it's usually crap the built-in camera. Like I'm using camera right now. When I use the nicer Nexagon or whatever it's called, the 1080p thing, it's way
yeah.
better. But yeah, it didn't have that, and it only has one USB. But it's crazy, so I could buy one of those little splitters because
Oh yeah, I
it's
have. I
3.6 or 3.2 USB. So
oh yeah. There's not a lot of things with that there yet, but yeah, my laptop I have a USB hub that has like 9, 10.
yeah, I didn't even know that
So
that was a thing. I knew for the previous
oh
system,
man,
for 2.0, I have one for that, but that doesn't work on the 3.0 thingamabob. So I'm happy. I'm fucking
you're
happy.
ready.
I'm
Yeah.
ready.
And now we could actually like start doing some like next level streams. We could start doing
That
streams
PC
where we
thing.
both our PC streams were like there's a reason why most big streamers stream on PC. Is because it's not just about the games. It's more about just like the like how to
Quality.
actually stream, the quality, the things you're able to do outside of Xbox and PC. So like as much as like I love my Xbox and PlayStation, but like when it comes to like actual streaming, you need a
Yeah.
good PC.
And I mean, I don't know if you heard. I know we're not really gonna get into gaming news just yet, but like the shit that's on the horizon with what Microsoft is doing with the Game Pass,
Yeah,
that's just gonna be crazy.
I know. I'm trying to like. It's funny enough. Like this, there's some hesitation from PC players. My brother, he's big on PC. Like he's like only downloads Steam games. And I'm like, yo, you have to try Xbox Game Pass. There's it's like
Yeah.
so many new games. You still get the pros of having a Game Pass. So day one stuff on PC, whole bunch of different just perks in general. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that like to make it more of a push that people actually grab onto it because I would
Well,
love to see more like
there's
day one PC
definitely
stuff.
there's definitely a big push that's coming with Windows 11.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah. Beyond that, you said you were really busy with like birthdays and stuff. Like I know that was a thing, but like, what else have you been busy with? Because I know that you sent us a text earlier about the Scarlet Nexus. and I
Oh
got to play
yes.
a little bit. I didn't get to play that much because my brain was everywhere. But can you tell me a
Yes.
little bit about your experience with that?
So yeah, I was on the fence of Mario Golf and Scarlet Nexus. They both release tomorrow,
Yep.
so I'm like, you know what? Let me. I forgot. I know I heard about this demo a while back, so I'm like, let me just download it. Let me give it a try. And I'm not too big on anime stuff. I think it's a little like cliche. The same. All the anime girls look the same. All the anime guys look the same.
They
They all
do.
make the same noises and shit. So I'm like, oh my god,
It's like
another
an
anime
auto
game.
file. It's an auto file of the same exact voice being shared.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh god, this is like another anime RPG. So I'm like, let me
Yeah.
not. But then we saw the. It's funny enough, we saw the E3 talk about the Xbox extended, and man, they just like actually like listening to what the developers are saying, how they like taking interest in a lot of different points of graphics, point of view, combat. So I'm like, let me just give it a try. I downloaded it, and man, the combat sold me on it. Like the
Yeah.
combat's so smooth and it's so like flashy. It feels rewarding after like you just like fighting the how there's like little enemies, but just fighting
Yeah.
those are fun. It doesn't feel like a chore.
Yeah.
Um, it reminds me a little bit honestly of control combat.
Yep.
Um,
Especially when
with the
you grab
telecom,
the thing and you throw it.
yeah, and just like kind of having that option everywhere. So imagine control, but instead of like shooting things, you're like like with swords and shit. It feels like that in a good way. And I know that I did see some videos about that. Like the combat gets better and better, so it's not gonna just be a hack and slash like it
Yeah.
is in the beginning.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoy it. I actually told my wife, I'm like, I might stay up tonight and wait for the midnight release on that.
Where? Oh, someone just followed us too. Oh,
Uh,
that's
yeah,
that's you. No, is that you? The Married Gamer?
it's different, different
Okay.
but the same.
I'm like, wait, what's that? No, it's cool. I was so confused for a second. I didn't get a chance to play that much of the game. I was literally just scrambling in some time to play just before here because I wanted to make sure that we were well rounded with stuff to
Yeah,
talk about. But from what I did see, it did give me that feeling that of that other game that I think Dre mentioned it too, and like, you kind of touched on it about being anime games. Um, that game that's free on Game Pass right now. I can't think of what it's called for the life of me, but I mean, Trey would know what it's called. It does feel a lot like that when you look at it face value. But once, like you said, when you get into playing it, it's it's pretty decent and it's smooth. I mean, I didn't get that far as I said, but it seemed pretty smooth to me.
I know
Um,
it's funny. It kind of came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting. I saw it. We saw the video, but I didn't realize how soon it was gonna be,
yes,
which is kind of
tomorrow,
nice because yeah, I've been itching for like a new game, so that's like scratching that itch
and
now.
it's
It was
different. 'Cause you say
it's
you want
different,
something different.
yeah, and it's something usually I don't play.
Mhm.
So I'm like, let me just give it a try. The only thing is like now, you're gonna have this problem too, being PC head now. Like, do you buy it on PC? Do you buy it on Xbox? You have so many choices now. And I'm like, I
Yeah,
kind of want to buy it on PC so I can maybe stream it if I want. But then I'm like, I want it on my 4K big TV with the nice
yeah,
graphics. So I'm
yeah.
like, that's the only issue is like, which one do I go for?
I mean,
I'm
that is a good yeah. That is damn. That is gonna be my life too.
just having to
um,
figure it out. Cause I'm like, is this a game I want to stream? Like, I have a lot of games that like I buy. I'm gonna stream this, and I end up just not playing it. So I'm like, let me maybe just buy this on Xbox and just like keep it as like it's just a home
yeah,
experience.
yeah. The trick I do with that, because I find myself falling into that same category. The thing I do with that is I try to maintain the concept of buying the dollar games, because I don't feel like a big loss when I don't follow through. Like the last PlayStation sale that happened, I brought like mad games. I was like, oh my gosh, please someone save me from this. But then it only was like $30. It was like 7 games.
Yeah. So maybe I do that because I have a lot of games on deck. I'm like, I'm gonna stream, but like, I mean, you could probably do like a whole like TED talk about how to stream and what games and what to do and what not to do. So
Yeah,
I know that one of the things you're not supposed to do is like switch too many games. You kind of want to stay in like a genre, like say like beard. Because I think my problem when I'm streaming is like I'm jumping too many different games and people are not recognizing my face. Like for you, it's Overwatch. Like so if people go on Overwatch, they see your face. They're like, okay, I recognize this person. Let me click on it. for me, I don't have that, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I might slow it down on like the different games I'm streaming.
Yeah, I do switch games a lot actually, because I do have ADHD and I do get bored very easily. But yeah, I do have my core ones that I do go back to. Like Overwatch would be one of them. DBD sometimes depending on who I'm playing with.
Yeah.
Call of Duty if I'm not too pissed off that
Oh yeah,
day.
you haven't played that for a minute.
Honestly, I was up to date with all the battle passes, but it wasn't till this last battle pass I got to like 80 something, 86. I never finished. I think the whole Rambo shit got me annoyed because everyone was running around. Like, you know how it's like everyone was running around with knives and bazookas, and I was just like, I was not here for it. I was like so annoyed. I was like, this feels like a toxic culture here just because he's
Oh,
Rambo
I
or
bought my Die
Sylvester.
Hard character.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah, I love
I,
Die Hard. That's like one of my favorite movies.
yeah. Oh, I said Sylvester Stallone. I meant to say but
Rambo and
yeah,
Die Hard. It was both of them.
yeah,
Yeah,
Die Hard. And I was just like, poor Die Hard, the guy, John McClane.
John
He just looked,
McClane. Yeah,
he just looks so bad. I was like, could you
I
have made him
know.
so much
He's so
nicer? Like
bummy looking.
Rambo looked pretty good, but he just looked. I was just like, he needs like someone needs to feed him. He needs water.
I think,
Um,
yeah, that was the only thing. Like the only, because I bought the skin. It looks like you said, it looks like shit.
mhm.
But the voice lines that he says in the game is actually from the movie. So like hearing,
Shout crazy.
he does like a bump, but like that's so. I mean, at least it fits the movie because he looks like that in the movie. But I like that the voice lines are from the movie, so like you actually hear like Bruce Willis talking. It's pretty dope when you're in the middle of a game, you're like, what the fuck is that? And then
You
you
know,
forget it's him talking.
I don't think I actually paid attention to that because I got to a point where I was just so annoyed with seeing them all the time because it was like
Yeah,
I like the new game modes though. I like the stick and whatever it's called, the bow and arrow thing, the crossbow
yeah.
rather. I like that. I hate that fucking board where it's like you're in the Amazon. I hate that board. Where it's like mad stone pillars and stuff like that. You have to go under because people always walk around the bottom and they just cheat and they just sit there and they camp past the little
In
barrel.
corners
Like,
and shit.
yeah, but other than that, like I mean, I don't know. I'll see about this one. I definitely did not buy the battle pass for this one though. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, I bought it.
I usually do it every time, but I was like, Rambo's level. Yeah, that's Rambo's level. I usually do it every time, but then I was like, you know what? I just bought a PC. I need to be conscious of this. I need to get my money back up. I need to get lighting. So I was like, nah, nah. But are you playing anything else?
I was playing
Other than
earlier.
that game.
I was playing Sea of Thieves actually.
Oh
They had
yeah,
a
I saw
they
you
had a
play
big
earlier.
they had a big update with Jack
Jack
Sparrow and
Sparrow.
Disney and shit like that.
I love Jack Sparrow. I'm glad
My
he's back.
brother, he's probably not watching this, but like he's so into that game that like I'm just like a noob in it, and I'm like, how do you do this? How do you do that? He's like yelling at me. I'm like, bruh, like chill out. Like it's literally Sea of Thieves. He's like, all you do is just go on a boat.
Your
He's like,
brother's
you're
like,
not doing
oh
it
my
right.
god, could you just do it this way, please? I know,
But like it's funny because it's like I'm like that with my wife when it comes to like Warzone. She's over here like la di da di. I'm like, get over here, come to the left, right, then slide down, and then shoot the guy. So I get it. But yeah, it's fun. It just man, that game is like super. It's like almost too chill. I think I was telling
yeah,
him that I was like, this game is like if you're like drinking or just like about to go to sleep and you just want to play something real fast, play
yeah,
Sea of Thieves, man. It'll put you to sleep because it's like so chill. Like you're on the
yeah.
waves, the sun, it looks beautiful.
Try
Um,
not to die from the sea monsters.
yeah, and it's just like a super chill game.
It is.
I don't. I'm gonna try to finish that storyline because I just want to. I'm just curious to see where that goes.
Yeah, I
But
haven't really
yeah,
played that much of that in a minute. I
yeah, I
need
haven't played since the beginning. So like this was
it
all
was
like
free. It was free. I was like, oh shit, this is the beginning of the Game Pass.
yeah, this was like the first like one of the first OG games.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was so much new stuff in there. So like, maybe you should maybe this could be a game that we all get together and stream it.
Yeah.
Because it's so many new different things, different mechanics. But maybe that's like a dope game, just like chill and have a conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of my friends and some of the other streamers stream that game, and it's like they have a whole thing happening. Like everyone has a role. Like you're a
Yeah,
small
that's my
boy, you're a
brother. That's what I'm
port,
saying. Like he's
and they're like
he's like
they
that.
get serious about that. Like, what are you doing? I told you to start in that port.
He's like he gave me a chest. He's like put everything away. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like,
this is supposed to be a game. I'm not like over here like managing your boat for
yeah,
you. He's like, put
literally,
the food where the food goes, put the like the shells where the shells go. I'm like, yo,
you
can we kill
do.
somebody?
Yeah, and then like then you get the random person that tries to kill you guys
That
in
will
the
happen at the end of my stream. Some guy was finishing a mission. Some guy came out of nowhere, killed us. And I was like, okay, this is how I'm gonna end it. Bye. Because I'm like, I'm not doing this again.
it's frustrating, but it's like honestly, when I first started playing Sea of Thieves, it for me was like I was coming down from playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag. That was one of my favorite games, but not the game itself. It was the part on the ocean because I love Jack Sparrow. Even though Jack Sparrow's not in that game, it gave me those vibes like of being like I just want to be a pirate. Let's be real. I just want to rob people.
That's what I want to do. That's what I'm like when I come in, I'm like, okay, let's go kill people. Let's go like let's be pirates. And he's like, no, let's like do this, let's do that. And I'm like,
No,
no,
I don't want to manage this
no,
boat.
I don't want to play like that.
And then you find yourself saying like, fine, I'll play by myself. You play with like one other person, and you realize that two people is not a good look. Granted, your boat is fast as fuck, but it has no protection.
Yeah, it's kind of it's easier to maintain, but it's also easier to like. The reason why it's easier for two people to do it is the same reason why it's bad. You know, it's like it's too small, it's fast, but like you only have two cannons, one on each side.
Yeah,
So you get in a fight, you kind of like have to like almost
you just
outsmart
asked
them,
out.
or yeah.
You just asked out. But I
Man,
mean,
what else?
I need to get back into that. But yeah, I'm actually playing. Shit, I was playing it all last night. I went to sleep at 6:30 in the morning. Don't ask me why I did that to myself, but I did. I actually re-downloaded Monster Boy, but on
Okay.
the PlayStation. It's free on Stadia, or was free on Stadia. But I was like, I saw it during one of the PlayStation sales. It was like super fucking cheap, and I brought that, and I didn't realize how beautiful it was. It gives you those vibes of like a Zelda, like a two-link Zelda, like that game. You know, it gives you those vibes. It's really beautiful, and then like it's just like it just feels wholesome, and it's got all these RPG elements. Like you get the orbs, and you get powers. You transfer them to different things. Like I just got my frog powers, where I can like swim underwater without dying because I was drowning a lot. And then like the piggy, he can smell stuff, and so he can find secrets, and like have armor, and I'm upgrading my armor as I go along. I just like it because it's pretty, and it's got like comic relief too because everyone in the kingdom has been turned into animals, and so you're trying to like stop it, and your uncle's the one who's doing it, but he might be possessed, not possessed, but like taken over. So
Yeah.
I like that. It's gotten all of my yesterday for the most part. That and Knockout City. I fell hard for that today.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you, I know you said you had like some beef with somebody, but like when we first started playing, you didn't seem too into it. So I'm kind of like,
I wasn't.
what happened?
My friend Khaleesi made me. She was like, "We playing this." I was like, "Alright, fine." And then I'm playing with her, and then like, I guess they made me join a crew or something, and I don't know. They just made it so much more fun. Because we were battling this other crew, and then those people, they just like Sea of Thieves, they go hard on Knockout City. Like they be on there talking like all the mess, and it's just like they little, they don't
Yeah,
know, but a good ass whooping could get them. Like you know,
that's the thing about
so
kids. They have no idea.
they
They
have no
talk a lot of
idea.
shit though.
I was like, where you at? I'll ask you for that. But no, I don't know. I guess because now have it on both systems, but a PlayStation and on Xbox. So I didn't know you don't have cross save. So when I started on PlayStation, I had to start over.
Okay.
So I mean that's annoying. They gave me another name, except they put two T's at the end of my name. I'm like, what is this? What is this? This is
Oh,
not
that
good.
sucks. Cause you're always just like fleece cat. That was like your thing.
But now there's two T's, and I'm just like, I don't even want to play on PlayStation anymore. But I was playing like all day today, for the most part. But those are the two games that I'm playing right now. I tried like, cause I tried the Nexus game. I didn't get enough time to play it, but it does look dope as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the reason why I went so hard on Nexus Scarlet is because of Mario Golf is coming out the same day, and I'm
Yeah,
like, you know,
we should talk
I was
about
on the
Mario Golf.
yeah, I was on the fence about it, and just like kind of seeing the reviews kind of made me feel better about my decision not to buy it because I kind of was like, fuck, I should get it, but I'm like,
Mm,
because we actually we have Gamerish Network, we're doing a I think we're doing like a season or something on our Facebook. So definitely, guys, if you're interested in that, there will be definitely people buying this game. It won't be
Yeah.
me, but there's gonna be people playing it. Mike or Dre's gonna play it, and we
Yeah, you
already had
got
like I think I saw
the
like four or
usual
five, six.
suspects.
Yeah, the usual. I know. I was just thinking like we have Sony ponies. What the hell we call Nintendo heads?
I was at. Oh wait. Hmm. I don't know. We don't even have a word for Xbox. You know that, right?
We could do yeah, we'll work on that on the side. But yeah, I think Nintendo needs something because all these like Nintendo ponies for now, they're just like defending it. I'm looking at the reviews and the comment section, and everybody's like, "Oh, you guys are crazy. What do you expect? It's a Mario Golf game, and it's just like the same heads that defend Madden every year. Yo, you're getting sold the same game,
But
and you're
like,
tricking yourself."
honestly, okay. I saw that you said that the reviews were like around 6, which I was like, of course, because it's the same game. But I mean, it's not exactly the same game, but it is the same game. It's like a mesh of a bunch of the highlights of the other games put together, plus the new added thing of the rush, where you have to
Yeah,
rush to the stuff to
that's
the
the
thing.
only one that seems interesting to me.
Yeah, it looks like that's the one that everyone finds interesting. I looked at the different reviews. I couldn't find any numbers on the ones that highlighted it for good stuff, but
Yeah.
I got things that I read up like Brilliant Revival, unquestionably the best Mario sports title since it was on the GameCube and Game Boy Advance. Are you serious?
Wow.
Serious. Best bits in binding them was one of the strongest and most significant tweaks to a major sports game since action sports era of NFL Blitz. They said it's good since NFL Blitz. Do you
That's
remember when that game came
ridiculous.
out? You
Man,
know how
Blitz is
people are
like I'm about
live.
to get a Blitz tattoo. That's how much I love that game.
So like they're comparing it to being like the best game since then for action sports. This game. These are the two different articles. This was from Polygon, and one of them is from That's what I said. One of them is from Polygon, and I think the other one is from IGN. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, they're like
The
so yeah,
problem
the
with
dash.
like I think the problem with and this could be like some conspiracy shit, but I think the issue with these big brands, IGN, Polygon, they don't want to get on Nintendo's bad side because they want the free Nintendo stuff. Because the minute you say anything bad about Nintendo, they cut you off. A lot of like streamers that are not the biggest, but they're
I'm with
pretty
it.
big streamers and YouTube contenters, they talk honest stuff and Nintendo cuts them off. They have to go buy the games now because Nintendo's not sending them shit. I think they're just playing politics because if you listen to the actual review and what they're actually saying, and then they give them like an 8, it doesn't match up. It's almost like they're saying one thing, but then Nintendo's only gonna see that 8, and they're gonna be like Nintendo's gonna be happy with that. But like actually listen to what they're saying, and everybody's like saying the same thing, pretty
Yes,
much.
yes. And then like the guy from Polygon, he went in as far as to he linked his review because he didn't I didn't see a number in this review, but he linked his review with the console of his childhood 25 years ago because he was talking about the what is the other one called? I can't think of it right now. Golf advanced advanced tour. He was referencing the review right now with his feeling of being a child and playing this game as he tugged at the controller strings of his dad's controller. I'm like, that has nothing to do with the game.
Yeah,
It's like
it's nostalgia.
overly fantasi- Yeah, thank you. That's the right word. Imposing your nostalgia based on the review has nothing to do with the game itself. It just has to do with the good feeling that you had as a kid. And I
Honestly,
mean,
like
that is
that's
relatable, but that has nothing to do with the game.
yeah, and then and that's the thing about Nintendo. That's how they market is through nostalgia. That's
Nostalgia.
the reason I keep buying the same fucking Super
Yeah.
Smash Brothers because it's nostalgia. I
Don't
grew
listen
up
to
on it.
Dre. Just don't listen to Dre. He'll make us
Yeah,
biased.
it's like that's why I bought Mario Tennis because nostalgia. That's
Same.
why I was almost gonna
That
buy Mario
the 10th,
Golf.
10th anniversary one, I played it one time. I was like, what the fuck is this? Didn't play it again.
So it
I
just sucks
I
that
like
like
Nintendo. Don't get me wrong, but I do recognize like game recognizes game. Like this is okay, point match. Like their tennis game, point match. But yeah, that I thought that was pretty interesting because I honestly I only looked at initially like some of the stuff, but when you told me there was a 6, and then I was like, wait, Mario was a 6. Okay, so let me just dig a little bit deeper, and it was more like none of the reviews, the numbers had anything to do with what they were actually saying.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I heard. I think the highest I saw was like an 8 and 8.5, 8.25. But I seen 6 and 7s. Which 6 and 7 is not bad. 7's an
No.
average.
Yeah,
But like when it comes to a sports game, I don't want an average sports game because then it just feels like if they it feels like just like another sports game. Like they said the story. They had like the little RPG thing in it, and they
yeah, the
said that
RPG element and where everyone has their own power. Like there's the shells. There is like you collect the hearts as well to help increase the stamina because you can run out of stamina. Um, Luigi can freeze the area, so like it'll be harder to swipe at the golf ball. Like yeah, this is all cute. This is our usual RPG elements, but I hate when people start using the concept of RPG element because it's like it gives it a pass and say, oh, it's an RPG. It's not an RPG.
no,
It is a golf game.
it's like
That
RPG
which
lit. Like it's technically RPG because you have points and you gotta put in stuff. But other than that, it's not an RPG.
it's not. I mean, if somebody else buy it, I'll play it, but I
I know, that's why we need that little that shared Gamerish account. right,
don't. I know.
right on that. Yeah, crazy. I agree with the whole Pokemon
Oh,
Diamond.
I didn't see that. I'm sorry.
It was funny enough. I never actually played Pokemon Diamond in Per. I think I
I
was
did.
in
I used to sell it.
between life shit happened, and I just kind of wasn't able to play that at the time. So I wouldn't mind the update, but like honestly, at the end of the day, I want something new. I don't want the same game.
I agree with you. Even though they say it's not the same game, they say it's a different game, but I'm still stuck on that best action sports game since the NFL Blitz. That kind of like got me. I was like, really? Next thing you know, they're
Yeah,
gonna be saying NBA Jam. Like, are you serious? I don't
I
know.
just like you made it sound like he was just like having flashbacks to like his childhood
He
through the
was
game.
the whole like half of the article was him talking about his love for how he felt when he was playing the game and how he was tugging on his dad's controller as a
Yeah, why don't you
kid.
just go say hello to your dad? Go hang out with him if you miss him.
I
Go play
mean,
some games with
I
him.
don't know. We don't know if his dad's still his. We can't say that. But I agree with you. Yeah. Do you have anything else on that? Because I think that's pretty much everything I read about that, which I was pretty like, wow, wow.
Um, um. So are you? So you say definitely not gonna buy it?
No,
No.
I get my money. That's $60.
Yeah, and that's another thing. The price. If this was like 39 $39, I would buy it
We thought that was gonna be
without a
like,
problem.
remember we said 30 and for Nintendo 30 is usually 40. Let's be
Yeah.
real. But it's $60, my dude. I'm sure they have a special edition. I have not looked that up yet, but maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. But
But that's the thing. Another thing is that Nintendo Switch. Like, if I only had a Nintendo Switch, of course you're gonna buy it. What else are you gonna do?
yeah, $60 to rehash nostalgia.
I'd rather just
Ah,
honestly
get a
just
get a photo book.
or get an emulator. The shits are everywhere.
True, true.
Download it, play it on
Yeah,
your. Because I actually looked into it. The Xbox One, you could download an emulator and play like N64 games, PlayStation games. I'm actually gonna go back to do that. I just keep forgetting about it. But yeah, get an emulator. Apply if you want that type of game. There's other ways to get that experience.
yeah. Um, yeah. I was gonna talk about real quick. Something that I saw about on Kotaku. Um, so because I know you mentioned about PC games and Steam, how your brother he only wants to like buy Steam games. He doesn't want to make that leap into the Game Pass, which I'll get more
Or
into
Game
later.
Pass, Epic,
Yeah,
others
yeah.
other ones.
So you know what Valve is doing, and this is their second attempt. Valve has added a limit on how often you could change your country, uh, your account's country rather,
Yeah.
because people keep using VPNs to say that they're somewhere else so they can get discounts. And so previously they tried to do the same thing before, except what they did before they already put it through. They already limit it now. Now it just got updated. I think I saw it on Twitter. But now, but previously what they did was they were trying to do the same thing, but the first attempt was they would force you to. Well, they tried to force people to use their local payment method. So, like, say if you were in Poland, you couldn't use American credit card, but that didn't go through well. No one was like, they were like, nah, you can't do that
Yeah.
because people travel.
Yeah, exactly. The whole money thing doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so yeah, now that's what they're doing, as per Kotaku, because they're tired of people getting these cheaper games. Like if you're in somewhere in Australia and like the US has a Steam sale, like there's a Steam sale right now, guys. um, and you get the same game instead of paying $60, you get it for like $20 because it's on sale within that
I
region.
mean, how do you feel about this?
I think it's a gross overreach because I get that they want to make as much coins as they can. They are a business, but they not hurting.
True, but I mean, at the same time, like it is a bit like I because usually you see it from both sides. So if you was a business owner, and like somebody it was a digital market and
It's a
somebody
loophole.
it is a loophole and like I don't think because I do it all the time on Xbox. You could change it and you could get
Yeah,
day
I
one
know.
releases earlier.
I know.
So I do that, and that's not hurting anybody because I'm buying it in the United States. I'm paying my $60, but I'm changing the time zone so I could play it early. That
Yeah,
I think should be okay. If you want to go to the trouble and do all that for you can play your game like 6 hours early,
yeah,
fine. I have no issue with that. But like if you're gonna try like play the system and then get upset that you got caught,
yeah,
then like you guys be like, yo, okay, thank you, I got caught. You fixed it, fine. But like if a loophole, if like there's a loophole, take advantage of the loophole. If it's not hurting nobody, do it. But like you
yeah,
can't get mad at somebody like plugging it up. You're like, all right, you guys had your fun. Now you got to pay the prices. So yeah, it sucks for people who have to pay $10 more on top of a $70 game because where they live.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Because some places the games are automatically more expensive, even though they're not physical, they're digital. Which was
yeah,
a previous conversation we had, like that was Sony related. How games could be like mad expensive for no reason because of the monopolies that these companies have. That's the only reason
yeah,
why I
I
don't
think
feel bad for them because they do have these monopolies.
yeah, I agree. I think it's
But you're
it's
right, it's wrong.
it's wrong, but like it
But I get
sucks
it.
for everybody. Um, I'm sure there's like other ways to go around it too, though. You
I'm
might
sure.
have to like buy because I forgot Steam. I forgot where was it. There's like a website where you could buy Steam codes off market. So I was buying like
Oh, like
Steam
eBay?
games.
Because I got some Steam codes off of eBay,
Yeah, it was
which is
what was
sketchy as
it?
f, mind you.
Yo,
Don't get
it's
me.
sketchy. Yeah. So
But
like, but you get
I got
like
the Final Fantasy remake, the one with the no Lightning Returns. I got that off of eBay for like $2.
yeah, it's mass. Yeah, you might get nothing. You might get something. But hey, if you're willing to do these loopholes, then what's a couple dollars?
As long as it's not like millions of dollars. It's $2. I'm like $2. I got you.
What's the most amount? What's the most amount of money are you happy to lose that you're not gonna like sweat about?
It depends on what time of the month it is. But I'd
Is it
like
general? Like if somebody's like this costs $10, will you like whatever, or you be like $10?
not $10 will be okay, but it can't be full price. It don't breaks down shenanigans. It can't be full price unless it's a special edition. Because I once had an eBay battle which I won, but my stuff never showed up and I paid and I was mad. When Final Fantasy 15 came out, they had the Regalia edition with the physical copy, and it was like the Kai statues. The Kai statues are really expensive, and I'm OD into Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
Points that tattoo. So I won it because the person who I was bidding against kind of like they were busy or something, and then I got it for like 20 some dollars, even though the statue was being sold for $300. And the guy was the person was like somewhere in Asia and was like, oh well, you have to understand, I have to ship it locally, which means it'll take like a month and a half, which is not okay on eBay standards, FYI. It takes like a month
no,
and a
yeah,
half because it has to ship over the boats, not boats, but you know what I'm talking about, right? The shipping container thing, it ships over
yeah.
that. And so I was like, wait, I was willing to wait, and I was like, where's that? Where's that? Where's that? The only thing is, eBay has a clause where if you don't get your order within like a
Yeah.
month and change, it automatically caps out and you just lose your money.
Oh, you sure? I thought it was the other way around. Cause I just did something with
Nope.
eBay,
Because
and
I shipped it to eBay, and it was like a month and a half, and
when
I
how long
still
ago
didn't
was
ship
this?
it. Well, now this is years. This is when the game came out. The Regalia
Oh
thing.
no, no, because I recently bought something through eBay,
Oh no,
and I
this
bought
is
it through
years
somebody
ago.
else, and they're like, if you ask for a refund and they don't give it to you, you get your money back guaranteed.
I didn't want to refund with my shit. That shit, it was
That's
pretty.
probably why they get your money back because you didn't put a refund.
Nah, that might be the case.
Like fuck you. And then what's my game? They're like, and then it
You know
just
how
way
much
too long.
legit those Kai statues? You've seen those Kai statues where their arms and their limbs move, and it was with the car and the main
Are you talking about like
character.
an action figure,
No, it's not called an action figure.
a Barbie?
He's just
Cause you
called.
like, you see the thing where like it opens, like they move
It's
the
a
arms. Like, is
collector's
it
I.
a?
It's a collector's item. It's not a toy.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You put it in a case and you respect and you look at it and it shows up in your background. You know what I'm talking about? People have those beautiful cases with the lights on it. That was
Of
supposed
the
to be the start.
toys and the glass cases. Hey,
Moving
call
right
me what it
along.
is.
Moving right
Is this
along.
is this a collector's item? No
Oh,
ducky.
that's a ducky. That's a ducky for the shower or the bathtub.
Yeah, collector's item.
You're supposed to be in awe when you see it. Yes, because you're not supposed to take it. You're not supposed to ever take it out of the case unless you put it in like a display case with the pretty lights and stuff. Anyway, after being thoroughly disrespected, um, yeah, got me frazzled. Oh, I was gonna tell you also, Electric Arts, obviously EA. EA, of course, throwing a wallet around again. They have acquired Warner Brothers Games Playdemic for $1.4 billion. Golf because they have this game called Golf Cash Clash, which is supposed to be one of the
Is it a phone
highest
game?
mobile. Yes, yes,
I think I
yes.
played it.
Did you play it?
I think so. Let me see.
You know what it is, though, right? So
It's a phone. Yeah,
it's supposed to be a leading mobile game that makes like billions or millions and millions a year. So they have some ideas what they're going to do with it. But they purchased it for $1.4 billion. This whole like electronic property or whatever the hell you call it. From Warner Brothers. So like they over here making money moves and shit. I don't know what they're planning to do with it because they're not really saying. But that's definitely a piece of Warner Brothers in EA's pocket.
which opens the doors to maybe other
Thanks.
WB
That's what I was thinking.
licenses.
That's what I was thinking. That's crazy, right? Like you have,
Yeah,
they're like there's like a bunch of places just literally buying up the other places to become bigger and bigger
and
entities.
bigger and bigger. Yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah,
like, it sucks, but that's the good thing about, not to change the subject, but like we're gonna touch this. My point is, it's nice to have like Steam, to have like these markets where we have these little indie developers are allowed to be somewhere, because WB's buying everything up and they're making it so hard to like, you know for anybody
yeah.
to really be. That's the thing. At the end of the day, everybody's trying to get their money. So I'm sure WB's like, hey, you want to pay me how much, you said 4 billion,
No, 1.4 billion
1.4 billion
for the
to have
mobile
this
for Playdemic, uh, and
that
Playdemic
makes mobile
makes,
games.
but Playdemic makes Golf Clash,
Yeah,
and it's part of Warner Brothers. But yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
literally
think
that.
that's interesting. Everybody, Microsoft is buying stuff. It's funny enough that we haven't heard much about Sony buying stuff,
They're
which
being
I'm kind
quiet
of,
though.
yeah, it's almost like
They're
too
trying to
quiet.
do that because remember, we still haven't had the Sony E3 part. You know that, right? We've had Ratchet and Clank pop up here and there because of
Yo, Ratchet kind
other
of
stuff.
came and gone. That shit's so quiet. Nobody's talking about it anymore.
Honestly, I still want to play it, but I never beat the first one. Someone told me it's a sequel, so I can't even look over there. I'm gonna wait till it becomes on PlayStation Plus, because you know it will. It's probably
Yeah,
gonna be the
eventually.
second rollout of the PlayStation free games that we have when we first got the PS5s. It's probably
Yeah,
gonna be the second rollout of those PlayStation games, like the Days Gone, the Final Fantasy, the first Ratchet and Clank. There was like a whole rollout of the first one. They probably could like they would be like nuts not to do a second rollout. Like, don't just tease us with one rollout and be like, this is we're done. Because these are games that we all already had for PS4, right?
yeah. I had like, yeah. We all had those games. The
Like,
Last of Us,
yeah, I forgot there was one of them was Last of Us. Not Ico. Shadow of the
God of War, Spider Man.
not Shadow of the Colossus. The other one with the big dog that looks like the never-ending story.
It's like
Very beautiful
Ica,
game.
something like that.
No, Ico is one of them, but not in this case. It looks
I know
like
what you're talking about.
But
I
yeah,
I bought it and it was,
the lost something. I can't think of it. It's so bad. The game is good, but I can't think of it. That's bad. Before I start throwing out more stuff, because I like to take notes and shit. You got anything for me?
one thing I saw while I was going through kind of my phone and looking at game stories.
Yeah.
And one thing that popped up was Xbox Cloud. They are actually enhancing the cloud service to maybe maybe to have better like 4K graphics, 60 frames per
Yep.
second through the cloud. And my first thought when I saw that was like, Stadia is dead. Like Xbox Cloud is like making sure that like there's no competition with them, and it sucks because um, I'm a big Google fan. I have Google products. I got the earphones. I got the phones. I'm all Google, even though it's Apple, But like I'm
Yeah.
into that ecosystem, so I was
Yeah.
kind of
It's
rooting
like
for
the whole
Google
premise is
because
the same.
I have the Chromecast. I have like everything is just connected to them. So I was like, let this be awesome. Let me be able to like play on my phone and go on my TV, and then let it be like something really next level. And they had probably like a year and a half advance, and they just haven't done much with it. And Xbox is coming out again, just being like, we're gonna try to just be everywhere. And this feels like it's kind of like, I think, or he's already been ticking towards Stadia kind of being just a forgotten thing. I think, but this is like another
Yeah.
nail in the coffin for sure.
I agree with you. That kind of touches on what I was saying about Windows 11, which is part of what you just said. But in reference to that, like, how does that make you feel having to think about possibly starting over with devices? Because for me, I only reason why I really have an iPhone still is because I got an iPad and I didn't want to switch things around because like they talk
Yeah,
to each other. Like if I have a password for one, it works for the other. It's simple, it's efficient, and when I draw stuff and I do art, they on both. My pictures are on
yeah,
both for my clients. But
yeah.
like since you had all the Google stuff, like I had Stadia. I don't have why am I switch it? Yeah, here we go. I have Stadia, but because you got not you, but Mike and Dre and yeah, that happened.
Try to convince you. Yeah, at one point they were giving those shits
It
away
was
for
a steal.
free.
I got it
I
when I bought Cyberpunk. It gave it
yeah,
$100 for that for free.
I got I got like two status for free for no reason. I think Google was just like, hey, you're like a Google fanboy. Here's a Stadia, and I gave it, and then they gave one to my wife. So she got a Stadia that's still in the box. I got one. I got like two. I gave one for my dad. I got like, they're just like handing these shits out now, and I think that just tells you like this is kind of just dead when they're just like just giving it out for free now.
That sounds like they
Yeah,
already knew it was dying. They probably because it's Google. They can look up trends. So they probably already
yeah,
saw it trending down. So
they
they
can
released
make the
it for free.
trends how much money and influence they
Facts,
have.
facts, facts.
So
Uh,
I think that like I'm hoping best case scenario that at least if Stadia's not gonna make any more like first party games, like just open it up. Be like, hey guys, just please bring your games to Stadia. Here's an incentive. But like I wouldn't mind like still buying certain games on Stadia. I think that's
for
nice to have
gaming,
an
no.
option for it. I don't think every game like I think I was saying with Dre, I think last podcast about like I think there's certain games that just fits good for the Switch. There's like certain games I want to play on my Switch that I don't want to play on my TV. And there's certain games that I want to play on my Stadia that I could bring to my little phone, that I could bring into my and play on my bed. There's like certain games that like I want that experience. So I'm hoping that they like push that at least and give me something.
Yeah, I agree with you. Building on what you said about Stadia possibly becoming obsolete because of what's happening. Honestly, it's part of this rollout for Windows 11 that's coming this holiday. I'm reading this. And I'm so fucking happy that I got the right PC. No, because the specs of the shit is crazy. Thank you, crazy, for making me learn this shit. All right. So what they're doing with Windows 11 is they're integrating it with they're integrating Game Pass into Windows 11 to attract PC players. And what this does, it brings a bunch of specs clearly, but for PC gamers specifically, yes, cool cat. For PC gamers specifically, it brings the direct storage API and the HDR. So I saw some side, what do you call it? Side shots of games, and the auto HDR, and then what it is right now. And of course, it's gonna look better because every time you see a game update, it always looks better randomly. You're like, how do you know if it's real? Like, if it really looks that good, because they can always downgrade something, make it in 1080p, and then the next one just be like nicer, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, for this to even work, like anyone that has a Windows 10 and a compatible PC, which is important, they're going to be able to upgrade for free to Windows 11 when it comes out this holiday.
Oh, it's
Um,
holiday. It sounds so far away.
Yeah, because the Windows 10 came out in 2015. So yeah, so it's gonna automatically have was it? It's at a thousand access to like over 1,000 games because Game Pass has been out for a minute at this point, right? It's gonna
Yeah.
have the scale if you have your PC that can work with it specifically. It's important to know. It's gonna scale things up. It's gonna be able to make it run better, which is what they want to do. They're trying to take some people away from Steam, obviously, right? Because if it's upscaling stuff and how it works, it's gonna be faster. It's gonna allow people to play at the highest fidelity game. Sorry, play the highest fidelity game possible. One of the highest fidelity games, FYI, is games like I won't say necessarily Fortnite, but that's one of them. Fortnite was mentioned. Uh, Flight Simulator, which we saw during E3, they said how much RAM you need to be able to actively use that game and how what kind of graphics card you need. So it's going to be that. And literally, for what they're saying, for you to even be able to use Windows 11, you're gonna need something like a 3000 series graphics card if you want to do the Game Pass stuff. Which,
Okay.
as you know, graphics cards are really hard to come by right now, and they're saying you need like 1 terabyte or greater SSD to be able to store and run the games, which is freaking crazy. Just to run the games, not to play the games. Like just you know what I mean?
Um. Yeah.
So I mean it's some good stuff that's coming. It's just that yeah, the requirements are gonna be crazy. It's gonna be on par with what usually happens when there's new OS or a system or um, operating system. Then new PCs need to be brought, which is kind of fucked up, but that's usually how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing is that like, this is not a this is a choice. So like, if you don't
Yes,
make the specs, you don't need to upgrade. You don't need to worry about it. People are
yes,
still doing like Windows XP or Windows 97. So
you still have
like
time.
yeah, you have time. There's no rush. You be missing out some stuff,
Just
but
do the game.
honestly, like if you're not like, again, like the good thing about us, most of us gamers, we have these platforms on other things. So you could just like I know they're pushing a lot for PC, but like I have a Xbox One X that needs to be used. I mean,
Yeah,
the Series X. So
yeah.
you know, it'd be
And
dope to have an option, but like
the only thing is, if you want to be involved in the Xbox gaming that they're rolling out, which is really important because it's already available on Xbox X. It was debuted on Xbox X and Xbox Series X. That was the big one of the draw things that we got when they announced those systems. Now that we have them, but they're saying
yeah,
that that's only going to be that's only available through on PC through web browser, and some of the stuff is not even going to be available on Windows 10 at all. So if you want that, eventually you're going to have to upgrade, or you could just use your
well,
system
yeah, use my
instead.
system. Um, I have you tried the cloud, Xbox Cloud? I have because you could try it on your phone,
I
and
have not because
it's
it says
okay.
web browser. I haven't tried it yet.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, I think
I
they
mean,
have an app. You could
I have,
try it.
I have my sisters.
I
Why
know.
not?
I just like playing with new tech, so I'm always
I'm
trying
always
something
at
new.
somebody's house.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was pretty. Oh, I realized you. No, you didn't respond. Yeah, that I think that's gonna be pretty big. That seems to be like one of the biggest news. I mean, some of the other news were like little, like you heard about the comment with the Batman comment. Yeah, I agree. The Batman comment that happened where it's about oral sex. Did you hear about that? They're like
Oh
how
yeah,
Batman
they said like they didn't want like Batman going down on anybody.
because heroes don't do that. Michael Keaton tweeted the other day that he tweeted the a short video clip of him and Catwoman when he's Batman, obviously, and then he says, "Will I or won't I?" I think that's what it was, and
Yeah,
I thought it was funny because it's like he's playing on it because it's like, are you guys stupid? Like seriously, this is we're having a whole conversation about this right
this is
now.
kind of like the problem with like these big companies is that like they're so like Disney, they're so like scared to do like to make these characters human that they rather just act
They have to be God
like
status.
yeah, like no, Batman doesn't do that. He doesn't have relationships with females. He doesn't do anything like that. He's just
He
a
sits
crazy guy
and
who
stays
kills
by
and beats up
himself.
people, but that's normal. But like him like making love to somebody is like no, we don't, he doesn't do that, you know?
We
So it's
don't do
just
that. We don't do that.
it's just funny. This shows you like how these corporates think about these characters as just
It
like
doesn't make any sense to me, honestly. I mean, it's not even a real character. I mean, I know that that probably hurts people's feelings. It's a comic book character that we brought into light through the portrayal of different actors, whom some are better than others.
yeah.
But like to have a whole tweet about it, like there's like worse things happening right now. You know?
I
But
mean, hey, it was
I thought
something
it was
to
funny
laugh
though.
about.
I thought it was funny as fuck.
Yeah, it was like they give
Cause it's
like
like
you know
memes.
the yeah internet like that's the thing about like today's age is like you do anything stupid or say anything stupid, there's gonna be like 100 memes on it, and
That,
it gives us something to talk about. So
yeah.
yeah, it was fun just to see that.
Um. Also, other movie related or TV show related stuff. Um. You know the show Jupiter's Legacy that we were watching?
Yeah,
Okay, so turns out, we kind of missed this a little bit. I didn't realize the date because it just popped up on my feed. June 2nd, they decided for sure that they're not renewing it. And one of the main reasons is that they were like there's like mad hiccups going on throughout the show, right? And one of the first things was the main character, the main guy with the white hair. I don't remember his name, but he's like Thor, but not Thor.
yeah, he's
Yeah, that guy. So initially, when they were doing negotiations for pricing, he wanted 12 million per episode, and his reasoning was
shit.
when you yes, when you do when Marvel does like superhero TV shows and movies, they get like 15 to 20 mil per episode. Is what he was saying, or his group, his company, or whatever
His
represents them.
agency. Yeah,
Yes, thank you. And so like I thought it was pretty crazy because like he finally got talked down to 9 million for that first season per episode. But
he got 9 million per episode.
yes, my dude. Yes, my dude. So basically eventually for having a new season, whoever's in charge kind of back down, not back down, like said that they're not making another season, they're
Yeah,
gonna
fuck that
cancel it.
guy.
Because like not just because of him, but they said that the budget doesn't make sense for the amount money that they made, or not made, the amount of viewership that happened. Because they said it was like only like 36% of what they expected was the
Yeah,
viewership.
did you
But it,
watch it?
yeah, I watched it.
I watched it too. What did you think about it?
Definitely. Honestly, I liked
I
it.
didn't like it.
I did no. I'll tell you why I liked it. You can tell me why you didn't. Actually, tell me why you didn't like it.
I just thought the supporting characters were weak. I didn't like the daughter. You know,
Which
I think we've
daughter?
seen.
Oh my gosh, I hated her.
Yeah, she's so annoying. She's like, my life sucks. I'm a superhero and I'm a super martyr and like,
I have so much privilege,
like,
and I decided
yeah,
to
I'm
take
so
it.
privileged. I hate it, Dad. Leave me alone. It's like, oh my god, like it was so like over the top. It's like, how like I
I
don't
mean,
understand.
she
And then,
acted that out well, but it was just
but
like,
almost like it's just a
I,
stupid character. And
and she was
then
powerful too. You noticed
yeah,
that,
she was
right?
like this. She's like the second strongest or like the third strongest in the world. Like
But she
she's
didn't
like
want to
legit could do
talk
anything
to
she
or
wanted to do.
anything.
And I didn't think. I think the acting was up and down. I think the costumes were up and down.
I didn't
It's
like
just
the
like
brother that much either. I felt like he was a train wreck waiting to happen.
yeah.
I
I
know
didn't
we
like the
don't like this guy
flashback
talking
the
about this
flashback episodes
flashback
when
episode. Oh
like
yeah, yeah, because they kept
they
going
took yeah back like and it's funny because I
off
was
momentum, except not.
yeah they I've read about the comics and they're like that whole like back and forth thing was done in like in one issue. It was like it was done
But
like
why
in
they
one
split the
issue.
cost?
Exactly. They're like just to fill in like I don't know. So like people were like upset about that who read the comics that
Yeah.
like they're dragging this whole story. I wouldn't been I would have liked to see a second season, but I'm not like gonna like cry that there isn't one, you know?
Honestly, we've had better superhero like shows anyway, right? Like what Powers was is one. We had no, I think it's called Powers.
The Boys, I know
The
Boys is
boys,
one.
yeah, the Powers is a different show. Powers is the one with the British actor, and he's got like a bad attitude, but it was only a PlayStation exclusive, which I've seen to be the only one that ever remembers that shit. It was a
Yeah.
good show though. It was a really good fucking show, and it just disappeared into the dead of the night. But you should just oh my gosh, please look up Powers. I think you would like it. It's just so like fucking ridiculous. Like superheroes trying. It's kind of. It feels like the boys, except I mean, it came out way before the boys. It feels like the boys, except it's like there's an agency that's like supposed to be regulating these people with powers and like you know I don't know. It's this British guy or I think he's British, but whatever. It was a good show. It's a PlayStation exclusive TV show when the PlayStation View was out. Because of course I was
Man,
old, so I had that.
yeah, I'm pretty sure you're like the only one who watched that.
I know, I know. One of the chicks in the was bad. She was hot, so of course I watched that. She had these interesting ultraviolet light powers, where she could transform light in front of you, and her the costumes were amazing. Um, but anyway, who's texting me? Oh, okay, sorry. In other superhero slash anti-hero slash anti-villain. I don't know what term is right for this. I kind of want to talk about Loki. Granted, I didn't watch the last two episodes because I don't. Well, I didn't want to talk about the last two episodes anyway because I felt that everyone should at least have seen the first episode by now because we're 3 episodes
Yeah,
in. So I was watching the recap on Loki, and I thought that I think that even though the recap was saying like, oh well, it stumbles by trying to make him seem like he feels a way about like character growth. He feels a way about what he's done, something like that. I think the relationship between Loki and the Owen Wilson character, Mobius, I think the guy's name is. I think
yeah.
that's pretty interesting. It gives me that whole good kind, bad kind cop, but except it's not even about that. It's more about like reflection. I don't know. That sounds weird. Self-realization, even.
Yeah,
Because when he was watching the videos of like what happened in the correct timeline, because he's not supposed to be
with
there,
his mother and stuff like that. Yeah,
and his dad and his brother, and how he betrayed them through the actual movies, it kind of set off a separate timeline, which is what the whole show is about. It's about making sure the multiverse doesn't happen, making sure that they have a universe, not a multiverse. At least
yeah,
that's what I gathered from the first episode. And then the concept of the temporal police, well, they're called time variance authority, but whatever. I thought that was
TVA.
yeah, TV. Thank you, TVA. I thought that was pretty dope. And
No, I like the tech they use. The
oh my
computers,
gosh,
the
that thing when she smacked him in the face,
yeah, and they
and then
like get
he was like in
deleted
slow mo,
the
and
slow motion thing.
his
Yeah,
whole face was like doing. I'm doing too much. I'm not
I
gonna.
like that. Like they made the place like retro office, so like everybody's like typewriters and like feels very
Yeah.
retro in there.
And how many Infinity Stones they had? They said, oh, they're just
It's,
paperweights.
yeah, it's crazy.
And he just
And then
like
he's like, okay, now he understands like what's going on, like where he's at, what kind of
it just
power they
made
have.
him. It made him so small, which I thought was
Yeah,
pretty good. And it made it to the point where it's like it shows a world outside of the MCU that we've never seen so far. And then like this gives you an opportunity, honestly, to have more characters. You do know that, right? Like this introduces the opportunity to be able to have more characters. And the fact that the end of the first episode, you finally find out that the big baddie might be Loki himself. So Loki from 2012, because that's Loki that we have that's acting in the show. That's Loki from 2012 from the movies. And the other Loki is some more evil, more baddie Loki.
yeah.
So I don't know. I was fangirling over it. I love Loki.
No, I like Loki too. I think he's very
He has
smooth and he
dimension.
has like a lot of charisma. Um, I was gonna say I was a little disappointed on how fast he kind of because this is the old Loki before he became good. This is like evil Loki. Like he was going to jail because he got caught, and then they showed him all the like his
You're right. You're right. You're right.
they showed him.
Maxie! Sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
she likes it, but she got lost the first episode because it is kind of confusing if you're not like
It
really
is.
paying attention. But I don't like that how he turned. I'm gonna say good, but like he turned a little too fast, and I
You mean
would have liked
in the first episode?
this version, the variant Loki. He turned too fast. Like from that point in Manhattan trying to take over the world to like at the end of like
Yes. That's what
Ragnarok
you're supposed to do.
and stuff like that. That was a whole journey. That was like 2 3 years. Like I don't know how many years, but it was a process for him to like turn to a different character.
Yes.
And now they did it all that in one episode, and it's just like
My hi, Matt Queen. My argument to that though is that the guy, the Mobius, which is Owen Wilson's character, he said that time works differently there. So even though
oh yeah, you're right.
for
Maybe we
us
don't know how long he was actually there.
exactly, because through the whole process of him being processed when he first got taken in from he was in the Mongolian desert, I believe, from that whole process to it being like he was like I'm a god, and he was literally like Loki is literally like a toddler that was being told like you're having a tantrum, no
Yeah.
one's listening to you. So all those things, they stripped him. You saw that part, right? They stripped him down. The robot was like, "We don't give a shit that if you say you're a god." And then he went to the court, and even though when he went to the court, he was arguing everything to the lady judge lady. That was weird. The lady judge. It wasn't until really he sat in that room. Yes, go to timeout. When he sat in that room, I want to imagine that for a series sake of for on time that a lot of time passed by when he was in that room. But that's the only way I can. Because you're right. He that was fast. Like, but even though like he's like a selfish person, Loki. But realistically, he's selfish. We all know that, right? So I think the realization didn't hit him until he escaped and then came back in the room and watched it himself.
Yeah, and then he will. Yeah, I know. I get like him turning,
It was fast.
and I know Loki is like he's probably like just playing the game. He's really good at just like playing the game, telling people what they want to hear, so
Yes.
he can take advantage of it. So
Yeah.
I know part of that is that as well, just like him, just like okay,
Yeah.
you need me to be this guy, I'm gonna
The
be this
mommy
guy.
dying, I think, is what really got him.
That was
And then
that was sad. I almost got a tear in my eye when he just
I
looking.
cried. Fuck. No, it doesn't take that much. The his mom dying, and then him seeing his dad say, "I love you, boys."
Yeah,
Because he, in his current time, being explained by a human. Well, I'm assuming the other guy's human. We don't know what they really are. They're human like, right?
I would say watch the third episode. You find out.
I'm gonna watch them after the podcast actually, because I realized I was not up to date, but I didn't want to talk about the new episodes anyway because like what if
Yeah,
someone
yeah,
else?
no, I get it. I'm just saying like because they
But
they
yeah, I'm
answered
definitely watch
quite a
that.
bit.
But also the fucking main ass, the black lady. I can't remember her name right now, but that bad bitch from
Yeah, she's
Watchmen.
in a lot of
From
stuff.
Watch
I
from Watchmen. She's the
from
one who
she's
drinks
from
the potion.
Watchmen.
The one that drinks the potion that changes her body.
That's not Watchmen. That's I know that's the thing I'm talking about.
That's not Watchmen. What show is that? Fuck, wrong show, wrong show.
Shit, I
Are you
know
sure it's
it's
not
like
Watchmen?
it's that book. It's a book that became a TV show.
I don't fuck shit up. I don't fuck
HP
shit
Love.
up.
It's like it's
Wait, HP Lovecraft. Lovecraft. Okay, I love Lovecraft.
Lovecraft Country.
I feel bad I mixed that up. But yeah,
Yeah,
she's
Lovecraft
that
Country.
chick that drinks
She's
the
yeah,
potion
she's
and
she's a
changes
bad
into
bitch. Yeah,
a white woman, I think,
yeah.
and back. Ugh, damn, she hot. But yeah, I got eyes. But yeah. So I think that like honestly, the show's off to a good start. I do recommend you watch Ragnarok, which is a Norwegian TV show. That's
I
also
can't get into it. I keep watching the first episode over and over again. I
finish the
can't get
first
into it.
season. The second season, the Loki in that, oh my gosh, it just makes me think about the Loki. Except, I mean,
All right, I
not,
gotta watch it because I can't get past the fucking like the
the first season
subtitles
is
and
like
like
very. The first season is like very kid like. To be honest, it's not that good. But once you get to the last episode of the first season, it feels good. I know I'm talking about mad shows, guys. I'm sorry. I my brain I jump from show to show when I'm excited about. I love mythology. That's
yeah.
my area. Norwegian mythology, any mythology, I fucks with it because I believe in things like that. But what is that? It's Ragnarok.
Yeah, it's Ragnarok.
I spelled it wrong, but you know what I mean. And we're talking about Loki right now, guys. Well, between the two. But yeah, honestly, once you get past that and the fact that they do the same thing that other show, Jupiter's Legacy, does, where they spend too much time on the whining children, they do that too in Ragnarok. So once you get past all of that, it gets better. It gets
Speaking of
better.
another show called Ragnarok, there's an anime on Netflix. Dre put me onto it. It's called Record of Ragnarok,
Record,
and it has like has a Loki in there too. It has a Thor, and the whole premise of that is pretty much the gods, all the gods united. Yeah, crazy seeing it. All the gods united to like kind of be like, hey, we're done with humans. Let's just kill them all, and then it's like Mortal Kombat. There's like a tournament, and if the humans could beat the guards,
That's rude.
yeah, if the humans could beat the guards, then the humans could survive.
That's not
And
okay.
I like it. Crazy. How do you like it? I thought it was like too much talking, not enough action, but you know, I know anime is like that sometimes. But I liked it. I don't know if you're big on anime, Felice, but I think if you're into
Yeah,
that,
Crazy and I watch anime at night times.
all right, so definitely check that out. I think that's definitely up your yeah. Adam. I think that's spoilers though, But yeah,
Adam
Adam
versus
versus
Zeus.
Zeus is pretty good.
Adam, like the Adam.
Hmm.
Oh,
Like Adam and Eve, yeah.
interesting. Yeah, that I'll definitely put that in my queue. I'm putting that on my list right now.
And another show just to get on out because we're all about game news, TVs, movies,
Yep.
all that good shit. Um, Black Summer. Everybody keeps talking to me
I
about
haven't
Black
finished
Summer.
it yet. Don't spoil
Me
it.
either. I haven't watched
I
again.
did the first season because I like
Yeah,
the chick,
I'm on the
main
first
the mom.
episode and like I turned it off halfway. I'm like, this
No,
is
just
just another
get through the
zombie
first.
game, zombie
No,
movie. I'm like, show
get through the
whatever.
first season. Just get through it because it's like hard to swallow. It's like I watched it when there was nothing else out, and then there was like a culmination of mad zombie movies and TV shows at once.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Like too many zombie shit. I'm like, okay, this is another
And
one.
then I watched all the main chick is this girl that acts in this other show, which I fucking love. It's for me because I saw her before acting in this other show. It was interesting to watch because
Because you,
the blonde lady,
the mom.
yeah, the mom in this other show, she's this very prissy Southern girl, and like she like this girl moves into her town. It's a Bluebell, and it's a Southern show. Not important, but like she's very prissy and high maintenance, and
Yeah,
and that show had like 7 fucking seasons of all of that until she finally grew as a character. It doesn't. She takes 7 seasons to grow as a character, FYI.
no.
But anyway, but she was like, I can't get my nails. I can't. You know what I mean? Southern Belle. So watching her in this as a totally different character, I enjoyed it only because I had previous knowledge of her as an actress. I think that can actually change your perspective on a show when you're like, oh, okay, does that make any sense? A
No,
little
yeah,
bit.
yeah. I like doing that when we like what is it? The guy Spider Man and he did this movie in Netflix. Who's the guy who played Spider Man in
Which
recently?
Spider Man?
The new ones.
I almost said Tobey Maguire.
I wish it was Toby. Whatever that little kid.
Yes,
He's like
the
that
best
same
kid,
character
Andrew
and
Garfield.
no, the other one.
Oh shit,
That's Spider Man, Amazing Spider Man.
I know who you're talking about. Just
Tom Holiday. Yeah,
yes,
there you go. Crazy. There you go. It's crazy to the rescue.
basically. Tell me more.
But like he did a Netflix movie where like he's playing like a serious character. I think it's
Yeah,
churches priest involved. But it's nice to see like these characters, these actors move out of the same roles.
yeah, because they
Because
expect
as
that.
much as I like The Rock and or the Kevin Hart, they play the same fucking character every
Nope,
movie.
nope, nope. Oh my gosh, fucking shit. Kevin
Don't talk
Hart.
about that fatherhood movie.
All right, I'm done. I'll be quiet.
It made you
Don't make
cry.
me cry. Shut up.
Yeah,
Stop
that
repeating.
shit is supposed to make you cry. You can tell.
Oh my gosh, you're like repeating everything I say before I say it. It's just so weird. That show had me in the heartstrings. I, it was,
It's
yeah.
supposed to. So that's why I'm like,
But
it's gonna be
he's
a
never
sad
done that
movie.
before.
No,
And it wasn't bad. Like, I could relate to him. As another POC, like, all that shit was, I could relate to him. Like, I
yeah.
mean, I'm not a father or a mother for that matter, other than my dog. But I can relate to that. So I feel like when you get to a point where it's relatability without having a bunch of comedy in it, because that's what he's used to doing, just comedy, where it's like, it's like low blow comedy. He does a lot. That's why I don't think that's the right term for it, but that's what I call it. It's different because you're used to seeing him. Yes, because I'm used to seeing him in comedy roles. But yeah, I agree with you. Um, I mean, I don't know. I I liked it. I liked
No,
it.
I liked it too.
Oh, so you did
Just
watch it? Ha!
no, I saw the trailer because that's the good thing about Netflix. I like is like you can see a trailer on anything that's there. So I saw the trailer. It was like a 3 minute trailer. So I felt like I saw the whole movie.
It's because they show the whole
Um,
movie nowadays, which I don't
yeah,
like that because it makes me not want to watch shit.
and I'm like, okay, this looks good. I might if the wife pushes this, I might watch it with her.
The way
But like, I ain't watching this shit by
refer to
myself.
Mad Queen as the wife,
You know
but
what's funny? Yeah, cause I don't know. When me and my Matt Cream, she's all into these like romantic comedies. She likes
yeah,
these like reality TV shows,
yeah,
doctor shows, and I love like like supernatural stuff, ghost stuff. So like
it's like a blend of the
yeah,
two.
so we blended it. So like once in a while, I'm like, hey, let's watch this creepy movie. And she's like, oh my god, okay. But then she comes, hey, let's watch this romantic comedy. I'm like, oh, okay. So it balances out. But I've been like in a whole like scary fix right now. I've been wanting to play like scary games, watch scary movies. Did you
Yeah.
watch the new Conjuring movie?
Yes, I did. I did. Uh, it didn't go how I expected it to go, but it makes sense because I still don't know which order the movies go in. I need to like watch them in the order that they go in, not the order they were made. Because when he wait, is it too new to talk about?
No, I don't think. I think people saw it right away. I don't think there's
Okay.
anybody waiting
So
for it.
like when he had his issue that he had with his heart, um, it was like I was and now he has limp. I was like, wait, is this before Annabelle? Because isn't he limping in Annabelle?
This is after Annabelle.
This is after Annabelle.
Because remember the point when they go to the lawyer and they're like, "Hey, why don't you come visit our
Oh
place and
yeah, yeah,
visit
yeah,
a
yeah.
doll?"
And then she was
So they
like
had
freaked
the
the fuck out the next
yeah
day.
afterwards. That was funny.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't think it was scary. It didn't feel like a Conjuring movie. It felt like a spin-off of a Conjuring movie. It felt like The Nun. It felt like Annabelle. It felt like
Well, the nun is supposed to be the first one in the
no, I'm
sequel.
just saying, but like The Conjuring 1 and 2 are like top two scary movies. Recently
Yeah,
in
that
my
shit was
in my
like
mind.
ridiculous.
And like this didn't feel like it measured up to that. It felt more like The Nun. Where The Nun was like kind of like it got you once in a while, but it wasn't like scary.
Yeah,
Annabelle was never really scary to me. Lala
it's because we not
Lorena,
we La Yona.
La Lorena, that wasn't that scary. So it felt like kind of like that. It felt like a spin off, but it's supposed to be like an actual Conjuring movie.
Yeah. I feel like I mean, it really depends. Maybe we're just getting less and less scared. Maybe they're just trying to make less of an effort to scare us. I know it sounds
Yeah, maybe
stupid,
it's
but
not
like
maybe it's not catered to us anymore. Maybe we outgrown it.
it could be. I mean, I'll still fuck with it though. I'll still watch him. But I definitely watched it, and I don't remember much about it, which is probably not a good thing.
It was
That
okay.
yeah. I did want to say though, gaming wise, a couple other things. Uh, well, remember when they had in Fortnite they had like the turn up, like they paid like I can't remember which artist it was. They had that whole thing was like a four something $1 billion deal or whatever $1 million
I
deal.
don't know what we
Or
heard is, but like I don't like the
yeah.
live the in
So
game concerts.
Sims 4 starting tomorrow. No, the 26th.
Wait, say that again. Sims?
Yes. Okay, so Sims 4 is going to get a in-game musical event called Sims Session. And of course, all the music that's being played at these concerts in-game are going to be similar. So, you know, the Soon Soon, like the language they talk, it's going to be in Simlish. So artists like BB Rexa, Glass Animals lead singer Dave Bailey, sing-songwriter, I spelled this wrong, Joe, I can't pronounce his name, okay. Ola Ola Dekan. I think it's I murdered his name. But anyway, this person, um, they're gonna be some of the mini artists that's gonna showcase at this concert in between the 26th of June and the 7th of July. And there's even gonna be a TikTok, a tie-in TikTok thing. Like you know they do hashtags for everything, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a challenge because that's what they do. They just make challenges up in these streets. It's gonna be hashtag Simlish Sessions, and that's gonna be between June 24th and 29th.
Man,
No
imagine if they
expansion,
say it
no
again. No expensive.
no expansion pack is required, but it reminds me of what they
Nice.
did with Fortnite, except it's free.
Just
So
I'm just thinking like imagine you're like a musician and they're like, hey, can we use your music and you don't have to do anything because we're gonna have like a makeup language over your beat. So pretty much you're getting free money for them to just say random shit under over your beat. Yeah, exactly. Like yeah, sign me up, man. That's funny.
I
My
don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know. I think it's like it's nice that Sims. When you said Sims, I had to like ask again because I'm like I haven't heard Sims for a minute. So it's kind of
Honestly, on the streaming rounds, I've been seeing Sims a lot pop up on Twitch,
okay.
like a lot. Because people are like, there's all these new packs that came out, and people are like building like fucking castles and shit. And like, I sometimes stay there and watch, but you know, there's but so much I could watch someone else building something. Because like then I even get bored. But there is actually a market for this, and especially with the new packs coming out, this is gonna go right hand in hand because it's summertime, and mind you, not a lot of people were able to, well, COVID, go anywhere. So like having these like live music events is like taking a page out of Fortnite's book, except they're saying it's free and I mean, Fortnite was, I think Fortnite was free, but the packs weren't free or something like that. Like the
Yeah, Fortnite's
extra
free, but like you have to pay
costumes.
for everything else.
Yeah. But like, yeah, they're trying to like bring more visibility to Sims 4 by even connecting with TikTok to have a challenge and making it like,
That's
you know,
interesting. They're doing this right now. That might mean we won't get Sims 5 for a while if they're still
nope, we
like
can get that shit
actively
for a
to
minute.
this day still adding stuff. So, because
Yeah.
my Matt Queen, she plays Sims, and I think the reason why she had stopped playing because she just assumed the new one's coming out. So I
I
might
did the
have to
same
tell
thing.
her about this. Is that like, hey, you better stop playing Sims 4 because there's no Sims 5 coming out anytime soon.
No, they're adding a bunch of shit. Yeah, they're adding a bunch of shit. Yeah, two more things and I swear I'm done.
Oh
um,
no, do you?
since we
Because
are part of, I know, since we are streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Obviously, Twitch is one of the things that we really take into account when we stream.
yeah,
So I just want to let you guys know about the Prime Games of July. It's important if you are a Prime Game member to download these because once the month is up, just like Game Pass, they disappear. Not disappear, but you just don't get them for free. So
yeah,
there's like I think it's 4 games this month for coming July. Batman Enemy Within, which is that telltale game. I can never say that word right.
I never got a chance to play that.
Well, it's gonna be for free for Prime, and
No, I
we all
mean,
got Prime.
granted, like I don't want to
It's
play
on
it.
Game Pass too. Just play that.
Yeah,
He's like, sure. This
no,
game called Red, which is an indie game, which is right down my alley. It kind of looks like it looks psychedelic, and it's like about a post-apocalyptic kind of an ordeal. This is, I think it's a girl. It looks like a female to me, but whatever. We won't assume gender and stuff like that. But she's like has these mutations and stuff like that. Creature mutations and stuff like that. There's another game called The Wonder of Frankenstein's creature, and there's
that sounds interesting.
yeah,
Does it look good?
eh, not really. Neither does the next one, Auto Auto Chef. So basically, it's like some sort of engineering thing where you build like kitchens and stuff like that, so that people can cook and stuff like that. And then there's Portal Dogs, which I thought was cute. That one is a puzzle platform, but it is free. So if you are not already a Prime member, obviously do that. We don't get paid for this, FYI. But if you are
We
a Prime
should.
member, you can actually subscribe to us for free. That's why I mentioned the Prime games.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we appreciate it. To take it to that next level and like use that free Twitch sub to like give us that additional support.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
it all adds up. Even if it's you're going to do it every other month or every month, and you forget. Because sometimes I have it and I forget to use it.
Yeah,
So
I do
if
too.
you're
And it
not
just
using
goes to
it,
waste.
definitely use it. Give it to somebody who needs it. Don't give it to the guy who has like 1 million followers and like
Yeah, I don't do
500
that.
subs. Like they don't need your money.
They don't.
Um,
They don't even recognize that it shows
they
up.
don't even know. Yeah, that's the thing about these big like Twitch streamers is like they have so many people in chat and like they're just ignoring you all the time. Like hit up
Yeah.
us on in chat. Like we'll talk to you. Like we want to have a conversation with you. We want to you be part of this experience.
Thanks. But the last thing I was gonna mention is something that you said you wanted to do tomorrow. I was looking up the D&D Magic the Gathering game that we were playing.
Yes, Dark Alliance.
Yes, yeah. I just called it the D&D Magic the Gathering. Sorry, I said Magic the Gathering. Sorry,
Yeah, so I say Magic
D&D's
Gathering is
Magic.
like
Yeah, I didn't mean to combine them all. I meant to say D&D's Magic.
yes.
Then I was like, the Gathering crossover is the nerdiest thing that Wizards has ever done. They're talking about the game that we're playing, even though this says this other thing. But yeah, it's literally the game that we're playing. It looks fucking beautiful, and oh my gosh, I can't wait to play this Dark Alliance game again. Once we figure out how to beat that bad guy.
Yeah.
'Cause
Apparently Dre put it on like so there's like different levels, word tiers.
he put
There's
on level
three.
2.
He put on three. The
I
max. It's
guess
only it
yeah.
goes up to three. So the fact that we made it that far on that difficulty, it shows you how good we are. So you know, definitely
Yeah.
catch us streaming it. We're gonna try to be more consistent on our group streams. We're
Yeah.
gonna try honestly. What I would like is like us to focus more on our group streams. I think it's a lot of fun, and it's dope to have all three of us to play games together, especially with the Game Pass. There's so many free games that it's so easy for us to just jump in and
Facts,
play.
facts,
So stay
facts.
tuned for that. We're gonna try to be a little more, give you guys a heads up and more of a schedule on that content
When that's
drop.
gonna happen, yeah. But yeah, that's all of my gaming news. There's plenty of other things, but like, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Put in a
Like
bow. Yeah, I
people
think
getting
that like
sued and
this.
shit.
Yeah, I think this is
Oh,
good
yeah. Speaking of which,
before we wrap it up.
last thing I just thought of. What's his name? Uh, Kingmonger,
Oh, Killmonger,
Killmonger.
Black
His
Panther.
his his real name. Okay, Michael B. Jordan.
Yes.
Okay, so apparently people thought that he was appropriating uh Caribbean culture because he named his new rum after a word that means like the overcoming of slavery in Haitian culture. I can't pronounce the word because I don't speak French, but it's like old something. I can't pronounce it, but it's like the literal translation means day rise. It's basically supposed to be the after the ending of that because
Yeah.
the historical value, the Haitians overcame their enslavers in their country. But yeah, so on Twitter, of course, it's always Twitter, always fucking Twitter. People were yelling at him, saying that he was appropriating the culture of these people because he's not of that culture, and he shouldn't have named his rum something like that. And then Nicki Minaj,
Oh yeah, her
literally,
Nikki.
yeah, Nicki Minaj literally was like, okay, so he didn't know. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't do this on purpose. It makes someone feel away. So all you do is change your name and get back on to making money moves. Literally, she said that, and then like everything's apparently like almost okay. And
Yeah.
of course, Michael B. Jordan apologized because obviously he didn't mean to
That's the
offend
only thing you
anyone.
could do, even if you disagree. He's like such a high like figure that like he can't take the heat. So he's gonna say sorry even if he's not sorry.
But honestly, I'm not gonna say that I agree with it, the name of it, or not agree with it. But I get possibly both sides of the story, like why that might be a okay name, and why that might be a bad name.
You know what's funny is that like yeah, maybe he doesn't deserve the right to use that wording, but like he's using like a
Awareness.
term that most people won't even know. A lot of people don't know about Haitian culture as is. So he's making your culture known by using something that he feels passionate about, and maybe he's not Haitian, but like he vibes with it. He
Hmm.
wants to use that as a symbol of his product. Yeah, he's just selling something at the end of the day, but like if I read that and I'm like, what is this? Oh, it means this in Haitian. I'm learning something new about another culture that I didn't know about. And now you took that away. So now he's going to name it some generic bullshit. And now nobody's going to know anything about Haitian culture. So yeah, maybe he should have put more respect on it. But like, you could have used this time to like enlighten people, but you used it to attack people. And now what do you have for it? Nothing. So like I
Yeah.
think that like I understand like being upset like, oh, another guy is using our culture to make money. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. But now you don't have shit because now in a week or so nobody's gonna know anything. You're gonna get lost. And now so like instead of like you could have used this time to educate somebody, be like, hey, this is what this means. This is why this word is so important to me. Show it respect. Michael B. Jordan, you could use it, but please enlighten people what this fucking means.
That's a good perspective. That's a really good perspective. That's not what they were trying to say online, though.
No, they're like, fuck
But
you, you're taking our money, you suck, bye. It's just
yeah,
like,
honestly,
educate people.
the
Like, if you
word is
disagree,
supposed to mean something. From what I read, the word's supposed to mean something of positivity, like you're overcoming something. The literal translation what I saw was day rise, like the day after you finally
yeah.
got your freedom. But
I
yeah,
think people just like, instead of like disagreeing with somebody, educate that person of why you think this way. Don't be like, I don't like what you're saying. I don't like you. Be like, I'm gonna educate you on why your point of views on things are wrong. But we don't do that in society. It's like, if I don't like you or if you say something I don't like, I'm gonna shut you down. I'm gonna cancel you, and that's not the way we should go about things. I think
because that means
if
there's
you
no
disagree
communication.
with
That's
me,
passive.
educate me. Let me know why you feel like that, and then maybe through this conversation, you could be like, "Oh, like holy shit, I didn't see it that way. You're right. I apologize. I'm sorry." Not like, okay, I'm gonna just say I'm sorry because I don't want to get like hated on Twitter.
Yeah,
So
and
you know,
the people who's apologizing, they don't. It's not like they. Well, we don't know if they actually really mean it. They're just doing it out of like a reflex.
it's the same thing with It's funny because when you brought that story up, I thought J Cole for two different reasons. J Cole was having beef with this lady rapper. I forgot her name, but like she was like he's like giving her props and stuff for
Yeah,
being like on the front lines and shit.
yeah.
And she started hating on him for not doing enough. And he's like, you know, why are you
Really?
hating on me for not doing enough when you could be educating people instead of putting that like putting this point of view on me? You're taking it away from the point of what you're trying to make.
That
But
sounds familiar actually. That story.
yeah, it was like a big news. And then the second thing is, remember when J Cole went and played in overseas for the basketball team?
Yeah.
I forgot what the name of the team was, but people were giving him shit because they're like, J Cole comes and takes a spot away from somebody, you know, and yeah,
Oh,
they have a point. But like the other point is that like, hey, I never even heard of this fucking basketball team, and now like I'm interested in a basketball team that's not even in the NBA because J Cole went somewhere and like put a
it's like
spotlight on it.
brand awareness almost.
Yeah, so it's like instead of you guys hating on like, yeah, he's taking a 10th man spot, why don't you give him props for going to? Because he could have probably signed to an NBA team. He could have signed to probably something bigger. But he went
Yeah.
overseas. He went to Africa to sign for a local
Oh
NBA, a
shit!
local basketball team.
I didn't
And
know
like
about
people are
that.
still hating on that. It's just like you can't win, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I think that's an overall good message. The fact that like you need to be able to communicate better, and not you personally, obviously, but people need to communicate better versus being having that first reflexive uh action, which is I'm gonna be mad at you and I'm gonna assume I hate you because you did this, but I don't know why I hate you. I just know that you did this, and I don't know what your reasonings are, or if you understand what you did, but I'm gonna just be mad at you. There's no
Yeah. I,
communication.
I think it's perfectly healthy to disagree with somebody. I think a lot of times
Yes,
in today's society is like if like you disagree with somebody, they're like, why are you mad at me? Why you don't you like me? It's like I can like you and I can respect you, but it doesn't mean like if I disagree or something,
that's
I'm
different.
not it's different, and people don't see the difference between that. Like disagreeing with somebody is not an attack. You could be like, I don't like this. I disagree with how you're going about it. I disagree that I don't like the color red. I like blue. I'm not attacking you. You know, so like I think that society we need to like understand like it's okay to disagree with each other. You know, as long as you still show that same respect to each other.
Yeah, thanks. And that was our TED Talk from Mad King.
That's what happens when I drink a little bit. I get a little like
It's beautiful.
TED
It's
talky.
beautiful. It's definitely beautiful. Um,
You love to see it.
all right, guys. That has been our news and our like the ish that you should know sort of ordeal for this podcast. We do thank you for coming around, sticking with us. Our next podcast should be on next Thursday. But beyond that, we will, as he said, be planning to play games together. Right now, we are trying to play Dark Alliance, which is that new D&D game, which we
Yeah,
all like. We all fuck with. It's free on Game Pass because that's what Game Pass does. Um, yeah. Freddie,
yeah, it was dope. Nice
he's
having you,
like, what?
Felice. It was a fun time. Thanks, crazy. Thanks for everybody in chat, lurking. We see you. Um, definitely. Next time be a little more involved in chat if you like. We don't be shy, or
Yep.
just keep doing you. We appreciate you guys just being here. So thanks for everything, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, we're gonna stick around. We're gonna raid Mezzy TTV. Is not
Yes,
Mezzy TV. Just to pass it along because we believe in small streamers. If you're a small streamer, we believe in you too.
for sure, for sure. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. Bye.
Peace.